Welcome to GameBreakers. My name's Thomas. I'm here with Allison, David, and Diamond, and we are playing Dungeons & Dragons. This is our 5th edition game, A Bard's Tale. So, when last we left our intrepid heroes, in real time, it's been a while for us. You're probably just watching through episodes. The crew, after being knighted in the Feywild, had accepted a task to go clear out some giants from a mine above a portal to the plane of the earth, to the elemental plane of Earth. Inside, they discovered that the mount of the general they had defeated, slain, at the battle for the stronghold, had dug a massive tunnel under here and was holed up. You found some giants, but then you found something else. And that was Star Spawn. Something terrible and evil is happening here. You descended into the mines through inky, black, non-corporeal tendrils almost, like ink leaking into water. Followed this through the mine, into the tunnel, across a upward flowing fall of molten quicksilver, and were engaged by several Starspawn, and then who were then reinforced by something terrible. And it was just upon that reveal that we had cut. So, strewn around you are mostly just dead Gru. There is one asleep, one alive in the flowing quicksilver just to the side of you, and one still sort of between you and what is clearly its master, the Starspawn Seer. That's all right. I'm gonna trip over Starspawn Seer more than once tonight. I have a feeling.
You need to write a tongue twister.
I think you already did.
Yeah.
Longer than that.
I'm a thespian. I have shit tons of them. Called them one-ups. There are also both a dead Hulk and a sleeping Hulk. Giant ogre-sized creatures devoid of skin but full of bone, sinew, and hulking muscles. One of them is sort of on one knee, crouched over asleep, not far from a Gru, also struck by Struana's sleep spell. And you stand at just about the same point that Struana dimension doored you in and tumbled you out of the bag of holding when we engaged. So, let's re-roll initiative.
I got 5.
20.
8.
Wait a minute, hang on.
Don't forget Lovelace and rats. I don't have your elk marked.
Yeah. Oh, the elk did well. But really, I prefer the elk to go on my turn.
Okay.
We move as one.
Lovelace got a natural 20.
I'm not going to pop a popper, mostly because I'm touching my nails right now, but...
Crab's making us all look bad.
Yeah, she does that.
She's the only one paying attention.
She's a little on edge lately.
There's a shell joke in there. I don't have it.
Stan, you're mounted, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to make Stan's icon large to remind us all that there's an elk under him. All right. Lovelace is at the top.
These green ones with the red mark, does that mean they're dead?
The red marks, yes, those are bodies.
Okay, so 3 little ones, 2 big ones? Is that what I'm seeing? Or what's the purple dot?
The purple dot is asleep.
Oh, okay.
And this here is the awful, tumorous, knotted twist of flesh that emerged from the stone wall and said, "There's no reason for you to die here. You should just flee."
And
then we ignored that because we're bad at taking that advice.
That is a true fact.
things to say to make us not leave.
It floats a few inches off the ground and carries a staff that is very difficult to see. I mean, it seems like it's made of just barely, not perfectly translucent glass, and there is hovering above the top a just glowing crystal. Looks like icy crystal that's leaving a trail behind it as it moves. You saw it sort of deflect and attack, and there's this lensing effect around it quite often.
I remember that I have True Seeing active with the eye patch.
Does Mr. Floaty Man look solid? Or
it is made of flesh. That is definitely when it passed through the wall, it looked like it was that. It's almost like when you turn a clear bowl and the reflection moves around. It sort of like lensed through everything. It warped the space rather than traveling through the material.
He looks like he's there now.
Yes.
Like she would smell him.
Yes.
Okay.
Blind sight picks him up.
Without asking permission, she's going to charge up right here.
Okay.
And being a ranger pet, she can attack everybody in range, in her melee range, so she's going to attack both of these guys. Let's do Floaty Man first, because he's Floaty Man. Wow, that's terrible. 18 to hit.
18 is a hit. She manages to pierce to, I don't know, slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, which, right?
She just ran up, so it's probably just,
Right, she manages to pierce through, well, it's not like muscle, sinew, bone, it's really just like knotted flesh around something inside it. There's no blood, by the way, and you see that where the flesh breaks, there's that lensing inward.
Sure. 7 damage and a grapple check.
As it pierces through, that lensing reaches out to the sleeping Hulk and it wraps it up, and you see, again, like a turning bowl. And that happens.
So
and her claw is now in the Hulk for 7 damage. And
Oh, you fucker. Okay.
Yep. What the?
Oh, that's annoying. And he gets a. Does he get a grapple check?
yeah,
Okay.
and you get advantage because he's sleeping. He hasn't really processed the claw. What's the DC? Oh, it has disadvantage. It's a straight DC, right?
Pretty sure that fails.
It most certainly looks like it fails.
Fantastic. So it's
above a 7, I assume.
it's at least an 11.
Okay. so it sort of like shakes itself awake and is already sideways on the ground with its center of gravity above the most of its mass. Like she's got it turned and is like, oh. Oh, I should point out, it did not look like it was sleeping soundly, and the other, the Gru on the ground over there is still putting out its aura. It's just screaming at something in its nightmares.
Lovely.
Anything else from Lovelace? Bonus actions?
Oh, she can still attack the other one.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Yeah, 27.
Yes, that is a lot more than you needed.
6 damage, and she can only grapple one thing at a time, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, just 6 damage to the other one.
Okay. That one was fresh. So yeah, just like backswing of the claw. Looks like it dislocated the spindly little arm and knocked off a bunch of claws with spines on it. As you guys are fighting them, it occurs to you that the color of their skin and the some of the knotting that you're seeing and like spines that are coming out matches a lot of what you would expect from like it looks a lot like the same sort of material as the dead giants behind you.
Okay.
Given new and awful life.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all for Lovelace, we're at ClickClack.
Oh, okay. I'm technically in melee right now because I'm on top of Lovelace. Does that impair my ability to shoot people I'm not in melee with?
You get disadvantage on the roll.
Okay. Mr. Floaty Man, does he count as having acted yet?
Yeah, because this isn't the first round of combat.
Right. It's over a month ago. Who remembers? God damn it. I can disengage, right? Like, that's a rogue thing.
Bonus action.
Bonus action.
It's the cunning action.
Cunning action. And I can still do something in my turn with that.
Yes.
Fantastic. Hang on. Disengaging off of my mount.
Okay.
What
does that look like?
It's...
I have to imagine you have like an escape mechanism.
You know me, it's a button and I shoot out.
Right, the chair goes backward, turns the other way, and just spring.
Does it have to be a button? I figured you'd have a little like gear shift.
It's mostly just the button on the seatbelt, which is dead center, and then hitting it that hard triggers a launch in the chair. And then I decide where I go. Now where do I go?
Right.
That was an excellent question.
Seriously, where do I go? I'm guessing Biggin has reach, right? The one Lovelace has.
You have seen it fight, and yeah, it's got 10 feet or so.
Okay. You know what? I'm disengaging straight back, and using the corpse of the other biggin as a bit of protection. Just sort of like running behind a log kind of thing, but like, back against it, and shooting the one Lovelace has.
Okay.
And he has not acted, correct?
Correct. It got around the corner and got put to sleep.
Not great. That's only a 22.
That's plenty.
Now the fun part where I punch in my freaking dice.
Yeah.
Is this thing a giant?
No.
No. I could have done more damage that way.
Aberration, if it matters. You guys studied the bejesus out of some corpses not long ago.
That's 39 damage.
Alright. You do have the Savage Attacker feat. Is that how much damage you're happy with?
If I re-roll, do I have to re-roll all of it?
I believe so.
Oh, that's mean. I'll just keep it.
Okay. First attack. I'm certain there are more coming.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm out of practice.
He's been in D&D detox.
D&D tops.
Damn it.
That's an 18.
I am not the clever friend.
What D&D Talks is what I called it.
I know. I'm saying I'm clearly not the clever friend.
Oh, gotcha.
18 is plenty. And you're clever in more in other things way more important than wordplay.
Yeah. There's more than one kind of intelligence. That I am re-rolling, because, damn.
Yeah, no question.
Hey! So that's 25. Oh, wait. That shouldn't have the sneak attack on it.
Oh, okay. We'll just knock those dice off. So -7 of that.
No, it still has one of them. So, yeah, just 15 instead. And by 15, I mean 24.
It didn't like any part of that. You hit it right in the armpit as it was dangling, and then one straight on in the ribs, buried all the way to the feathers.
Still being grappled by a giant crab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next.
Not his best day. The group, two of the group cluster around the issue with the crab. The one that was wounded isn't real big on getting more of its attention, and it mostly just tries to help the Hulk. It gives it an aid another action. The Gru coming up from the other way, on the other hand, goes for it and is not good at this. One of them that had been swimming and sort of like treading downward in the Quicksilver water rise, the reverse Mercury falls. I wish I had given a much easier to say hazard to you now. The Quicksilver hazard, swimming down in, basically like gets sort of a positioning, launches itself out, and scrabbles out at Struana, and that one does hit.
Ah, why?
Okay, just real quick, did they all just charge at Lovelace and just bounce off?
Yeah, one of them went up and is just like...
Because I don't want to miss that visual.
Yeah, just ineffectually slapping. The other one's cowering away and just like trying to, help its large friend get unimpaled. Help it right its balance. So that one's giving the aid another action, but yeah, they're not particularly adept combatants. So you will need to give me a wisdom save throw, by the way. Struana.
I'm still sort of a little bit in pieces over here. And then versus 15.
Okay. You take 4 piercing damage, and then just like there's sort of this weird ache that shoots through you, and you shake it out as it starts to cloud your head. It confused you for a second what hurt, like even though you were watching it happen.
So just brief dissociation.
Just a little bit. Shook
Body?
it off pretty fast.
Body.
Am I biting that leg, or is that my... Next, the Hulk gets a turn. Yay! And probably just the one. So he's basically stuffed in a corner getting muscled around by a crab.
Wait a minute. But I get a reaction. Hold on.
Do it.
I'm confirming something works how I want it to work, because it's also been like a month and I did a lot of things this month. Let me just confirm how this thing works, and otherwise then I'll know what I'm doing. Yes, that right there. There. Alright, so that one I can't use, but I can still use Hellish Rebuke, so we're doing that. Ah! Bitch be on fire!
Ah.
How much fire?
Let's find out. That's
Mini fire.
gonna be 2d10 fire.
An irresponsible amount of fire.
And they make a dex saving throw. I spell
It made it. It is one of those kind of like small hopping around type of enemies.
So it takes 5 fire damage.
Okay.
I got it back for more than it got me. Awesome.
It is sincerely scorched.
That's good. I approve. Oh, I need to mark that.
That's all I ever wanted.
Yep. All I ever wanted was to light the Gru on fire.
You do
Gru may
hear...
eat you, not me. Gru ain't me.
You do hear the sound of more gibbering voices out down the way, but only just barely over the yapping half words that are digging into your mind from these little Gru. If you're within 20 feet, as a reminder, their aura of madness gives you disadvantage on saving throws and attack rolls against a creature that isn't the Gru. So that's further disadvantage against thing.
Oh.
They make you really want to kill him.
No, what's
Working on it.
But it's echoing through the way. The Hulk takes an action to shove Lovelace away and get out, and moves this way. No longer asleep. It doesn't have an action because it had to escape from the crab. And it sort of like turns around and it realizes that it sort of accidentally on purpose got where it was supposed to be. It's a little dazed about how all this just went down, but it's rolling with it. And it's like, big shiny armor on it. Those knights, I kill knights.
Does she get an attack of opportunity or anything from him leaving? I'm genuinely asking.
I would say yes.
Ha ha ha. 16.
Just grit, like, bounces off the hide. Like, it turned at just the last second and hit a particularly taut muscle. No skin on these ones. ClickClack, now up close. With your practiced eye, those are definitely muscles from Fomorians. Like, that is like you're a giant specialist. It's your favorite enemy. You definitely know the specific properties of giant sinew and probably Fomorian sinew after all the time you spent slaying them just recently. That's definitely Fomorian sinew.
Really gross. Well done.
Excellent, good. And now, the floating monstrosity sort of like waves its staff in your direction, and you see around its hands that globing effect again, and out of its sort of knotted flap of a mouth, it says, "You've decided. Good." And those just flings its hands forward, and we'll see what happens just after I roll some dice. So you all sort of like tense as you wonder if it's coming toward you, but instead they both go right at the Hulk. And just nail it. And it just sort of looks at it, it's like, oh, master. But rather than doing anything to the creature, the orbs sort of fan out around it and then outward. and explode outward to 10 feet. And I am sad to say there's no save for this. I'm happy to tell you that it's psychic damage. So everybody in 10 feet takes 22 and 28 psychic damage as the concentrated psychic force from these orbs explode outward from the Hulk. The Hulk seems unaffected.
So
I'm trying.
So, 10 feet. How much damage? 22 and 24?
22 and 28, but it's psychic. And don't forget, part of yes, you are resistant from your knighthood.
Right.
So 50, but 25.
Yes, exactly that.
It's a 1d10.
Lawrence falls.
No! And a 1 and a 2 and
It's too much.
And he wafts out as motes of light back to the celestial plane.
See you next time, buddy.
You see his passage leave glowing trails, like marks through that inky blackness that seem to have done something on the way out. Like it seems to have disrupted that little bit. And that was the seer's turn. He also rolls a recharge and fails it, so no problem. Struana, how do you feel about that?
I'm not very happy about anything that's happening right now. Those things that flew off, they seemed to go somewhere and do something. Is that a correct statement? I was also trying to find a piece of information at the same time.
There were two orbs that delivered psychic damage, not to any of you, but to the Hulk. But when it hit the thing, the giant thing, the awful in the middle of all of you, it instead bounced it and reflected it out to everyone and did nothing to the Hulk.
That seems like it was intentional as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. The Hulk seemed to know it was coming. Didn't try to dodge it. This is just what his purpose is.
Great. He's got a critter, only it's a giant Fomorian. I don't like it. I don't like any of this. And I don't like any of this and am just like running out of, wait, what do I even do? Like, reactions are almost better here. Yes.
So, Struana, you were outside of the area, so you didn't take that damage. It was only 10 feet.
It still sucks. I wish I could like have an AoE stun or something. So I think so does everything just bounce off him? Is that the thing that's happening?
I would let you have an Arcana check.
Okay.
Physical things hurt it.
That is 19.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's plenty. You first, that was psychic damage that you saw go out. It was pure pain, and that's probably what it's tuned to. You know that these creatures are somehow resistant to psychic damage or immune to psychic damage. You haven't heard specific stories of the tactic, but how many people could live through that?
That's fair.
It remains a question, in point of fact.
Let me confirm that. We went back over my spells, so I have to double check that I have things that I think I have, because if I don't have them, then it's very silly for me to use them. Okay, no, I don't have that one. No, go away. Sorry, guys. I think we're gonna try. There, okay. Which bolt is the direction we're gonna go?
Okay.
Like, you gonna zap my friends? Her music is getting definitely louder. Yeah, he's within range there. My range spell attack is that. Does a 26 hit.
26 does hit.
That's so. This is you, right? Yes. A 2d12. No, 1d12 plus 2d12.
As the flame begins to make contact, the white bolt arching out from you, again that twisting effect of space, and there's now one of those little grue right in front of it. Just
well, that little grue takes 25 damage
and pops, just like withers and dies, like it's dust now.
Enjoy the afterlife.
If only. Bonus actions, move actions, short monologues.
I think I'm in the staying as like between like other people or between, you know. Yeah. I'm trying to keep like either Stan or Lovelace between me and the baddies at all time, and I seem to be in like the closest position for that. Like, I'm not sure.
You're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to maintain.
Speaking of everyone hiding behind Stan. Yay. This guy took out Lawrence.
Bitch.
Right. Dumped my butt unceremoniously on the ground.
As you land on your feet. You guys have trained for this.
For his death.
No, there was still no ceremony.
Oh, it's not dead. He like as it's fading away, you hear in his voice, "Go get him."
Aww.
I'll give you a point of inspiration because Lawrence went down.
How many spell slots that I got here?
After a moment of oh hell no.
So I'm gonna swing my hammer at this creature before me.
Right. Embermock's gift to you long time ago. Actually, you won it in an arm wrestling match.
Yes. Fair and square. 17 to hit?
17 is exactly what you needed.
Alright.
It was a fair and square arm wrestling gift.
Right, no magic or anything. Max damage, 16. That's right in the core.
Yeah, I mean, center mass, even if it blocks the blow, it's still fire damage. Like, it's when it tries to tuck in and not take so much. And it didn't. You got it right in a soft bit. Seems remarkably easy to target. I mean, there's no skin. You know exactly where the bones aren't. You can see it.
Gross.
It's almost educational if it wasn't trying to kill you.
How beat up does it look?
You guys have done some bad things to this. Like they don't bleed, but you can see it's heavily punctured, beaten, and burnt.
Okay, I'm gonna swing at it again. And same roll, so it hits 17.
Right.
This time, as I
It's one of those where you hit it on one side and it tucks to like and then opens up the other side.
I'm going to whisper a prayer to Moradin and get some divine smite going on.
All right. It impacts not like a hammer on like a war hammer on flesh, but with the sound of a smith's hammer on an anvil. And how much extra?
Is it a or undead?
It is an aberration, if it matters.
It does, but doesn't.
It theoretically helps.
And I will spend a spell slot, first level spell slot. So 2d8, 2 more d8, so 3d8 total. 26 damage. Yeah. Feel the wrath of more.
After that other that last as the last hit is coming down, it looks over at the seer and says, "I'm sorry, master," and then just right on the neck, it sees it coming, and there's a burning crack, and then a slump of wrecked flesh.
Hey.
A+, we win! For a moment. For a friggin' heartbeat. Here we go.
And that's where we'll take a quick break on that cliffhanger as the floating star spawn seer just kind of nods and accepts its death. This is GameBreakers. Thanks for watching A Bard's Tale. This is a community-sponsored show. It doesn't happen without you. If you want to see more of it, hit subscribe. If you want to see it, boy, it's been a month for me too, it turns out. If you like what you see, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you want to see it get better, hit up our Patreon. Everything's down in the doobly-doo. Meanwhile, have a good game.